Hey, welcome. Satnam. Gurudev Namo. Gurudev Namo. Gurudev Namo. Gurudev Namo. Anangude name, Jugadungude name, Satungude name, Siri Gurudevi name, Adungude name, Jugadungude name, Satungude name, Siri Gurudevi name, Adangude name, Jugangude name, Satangude name, Siddhi Gurudevi name, Adangude name, Jugangude name, Satangude name, Siddhi Gurudevi name, Adangude name, Jugangude name, Satangude name, Siddhi Gurudevi name. It feels like a good time to just kind of recalibrate our motivations. As they say, if the the motivation is kind of like the root of of your dharma, the root of the practice. So depending on what the motivation is for doing the practice is going to influence everything else that happens within that practice. So in general, tuning in is a good time to recalibrate, center your motivation. First of all, clearing the channel, opening the energy system, kind of tuning into the more subtle flow of life's intelligence, going beyond the surface level of the mind of thinking, and bringing the energy into the heart space of Namo, of I'm just a simple vessel here, doing my best to be a good vessel. And pituitary is stimulated, thymus gland is stimulated, connecting the mind, body, and heart field. The heart has its own electromagnetic field to the current of what the yogis call the nad. The nad, typically we call the nad the sound current. Nad is like na, like na, nothing, and ad is primal. And so if you unpack the root of the word is primal nothingness. So now what's happening is, in ordinary circumstances, the mind is running its thoughts, feelings, emotions, and desires. And we're just taking a moment and going, Gurudev, and tuning into the bigger teacher energy of life, Gurudev. Meaning that in all circumstances that come my way, ends up being my teacher. And that's not the ultimate context of what that mantra is or what that process is. But that can certainly be part of it. But simply, practically speaking, just being able to reset to where the mind is tuned in a slightly more subtle fashion, so that how I'm perceiving life and how I'm metabolizing the experiences of my life and of my day is going to have a more wide-angled lens and less narrowness in one's perspective, and that allows us to act and operate more intelligently. And then Adgude Name, Jugadugude Name, Satgude Name, Siri Gurudeve Name. I use it as an opportunity to really set one's motivation, to really set the motivation of the practice. Adgude Name, Jugad. Ad, here's that ad again, primal. Adgude Name. Name is ordinarily translated as I bow. And that's a fine way to translate it. It's an accurate way to translate it. But also recognizing for the Western mind, I bow is not always our most easily understood concept. Or there's, if we think of it in terms of, many of us grew up in Judeo-Christian traditions where, that was kind of that was one of the 10 commandments, that you don't bow, actually. You only bow to you only bow to one thing, which is good. Sure, it can be contextualized like that. And you see, there's so many ways of contextualizing things, and that's why I personally like to take the time to, really unpack, what is it that we're doing? What is it, does this mean? Not just like taking it as it is. But if we think of it as in terms of when I bow means like I'm always bowing to something. Question is, what is it that I'm bowing to? And sometimes I'm bowing to, jealousy. If jealousy is what's running the show, or if I'm bowing to anger, if passive aggressiveness is running the show. Hopefully not, but those are sometimes the case, Sometimes we're bowing to anxiety and so forth and so on when those things, not purposefully, but sometimes the subconscious habits take over. So what do I want to bow to? Or in other words, what do I want to be a vessel for? What do I want to be a good instrument for? I'd like to be a good instrument for love. I'd like to be a good instrument for a higher intelligence. I'd like to be a good instrument for compassion. So when you say ad, gure name, gure is wisdom, or guru, the guru energy, wisdom energy, the innate wisdom within the substance of life itself. And when that energy comes to you as a teacher, it becomes the guru. So we're not talking about some person here. We're talking about something far more substantial, far more essential to the fabric of existence. You with me so far? So Ada Gure Name is the primal wisdom. Sat Jugad Gure Name, Jugad like Yuga, Kali Yuga, Dwarpa Yuga, etc. Satya Yuga is the ages. It's throughout all the ages. Ad Gudename, Jugad Gudename. Sat is truth, which means the present moment, right now. In this moment, Siddhi Gurudev in the great unseen, the future. So at the beginning was the wisdom energy of life. Throughout all of time, throughout all of our ancestry, was the wisdom energy of life. Sat in this moment is the wisdom energy of life. And in the future will always be the wisdom energy of life. Do we have the capacity to tune into that? And that's why we continue to refine and cultivate subtlety. And so then I take this Mangala Charan, Ad Gudename, Jugad Gudename. Mangala is the name of Mars. So Mars is a good thing to have harmonious relationship with, especially if you're a fiery person like me. But everybody has Mars in their organism. Mars energy. Mars is one way of contextualizing that fiery, get things done energy. Everyone has an engine. Everyone has a motor, and that's Mars. And so what is Mars, or what is the motor of your life in service of, becomes the question. And so if the subconscious old habitual patterns are running the show, are sweeping our mind away in whatever directions of their pleasing, then Mars will be used in that regard, and Mars, the motor of our life, will end up causing potentially more damage or pain or difficulty or suffering in our lives. But that same motor can be used to create more bliss in our lives, to create more intelligence, to create more creativity, to create more love, to create more compassion. So I go Adugudename and think and meditate on the 4 boundless attitudes. Boundless love, the wish for all beings to find a happiness. That starts here. This is the being it's starting with, and then it's extending out from there. Jugad Gudename, boundless compassion, the wish that those beings who are suffering, starts right here. This being is suffering. This being is not a Buddha yet. One day, but not yet. So may all beings be freed of suffering. Satgurename, boundless joy, that those beings who do have happiness, may that ever increase and swell. But furthermore, may I find happiness with others' happiness. And then fourth, Sri Gurudeve Namah, and these are not translations of the mantra. This is using that Mangalacharan mantra in order to kind of set one's motivation with the four boundless attitudes. Sri Gurudeve Namah, may that wish of boundless, of happiness, of freedom from suffering, of sympathetic joy, may it be impartial. May it extend beyond any boundary that is imposed by my likes or dislikes and my personality preferences. So it doesn't stop where the people like vote like me stop, for instance, or anything like that. And so if we've spent some time cultivating these attitudes and it becomes a genuine part of our lifestyle and something, because it's not just something I can hear once and all of a sudden, boom, that's like the way I am. And these are deeper habits that have to be cultivated, deeper kind of channels that need to be, or grooves that need to be carved out, so that the mind's and the heart, the mind's energy really, it then causes that flow of the heart to be the predominant experience. Currently, the grooves in the mind may be causing more of the energy of the ego or contraction energy to be flowing predominantly through your experience. So therefore, when we encounter, whether online or in person or even in our own thought stream, the news, wherever, when we encounter something that is oppositional to how we think, feel, and believe, then we may contract and we may feel disgust. And cool. So then what's the response to that contraction and disgust? Does that kind of snowball into more and more contraction? Or does that experience of dislike stimulate a compassionate response? That becomes a crucial difference there. And on a path of bliss, on a path where we're endeavoring to experience deeper and deeper and deeper love, that compassionate response becomes everything. And that compassionate response is an organic reactivity from encountering another person's suffering. But first, remember, is because all of it is dependent on what eyes are we seeing with? What is our sense of perception? And are we able to actually kind of perceive suffering as it is and actually perceive bliss as it is? Or through the density of the psyche, are we unable to actually perceive in a fashion that would allow us to get into the space where we can just perceive another's suffering or our own suffering just as what it is, without so many narratives around it that cause us to be so powerfully opinionated that we can never get into a more loving perspective on things. So these are the types of things we mean when we say setting one's motivation. It means that not only when we're doing a practice, not only are we endeavoring to be more happy ourselves and to suffer less ourselves and to have greater joy ourselves, but we're also have genuine concern and genuine well wishes for every other being as well. And that turning the heart inside out is a process that I think we'll find to be essential for the survival of our species, even, and certainly essential to create truly healthy societies. So, That's what it is. So when we're doing a miracle mantra, Guru Guru Vai Guru Guru Dam Das Guru 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 Vai Guru Guru Dam Das Guru, it's not that we're having to like think of these things while we're doing the meditation, but if you've set your motivation from the beginning, and then at the end of the practice, may the long time sun shine upon you, or however it is we do it, as long as space endures, as long as living beings remain, may I too abide to dispel the misery of the world. So by beginning the practice, by setting one's motivation, ending the practice by dedicating any sort of merit or goodness that has come out of the practice, not only for myself, but for the benefit of beings. And then in the middle between the two, doing one's best to actually be free of distractions, be free of unnecessary concepts, ideas, and to just be able to practice being in the present moment, working with the techniques of whatever sadhanas, whatever kriyas are being given, without gripping onto too many ideas. So in the middle of it, it's not constantly bringing the mind back into it necessarily, but it's following the technique of the meditation, of the kriya, of the sadhana, and being as much as possible free of distractions. And the primary distraction to be free of is the one of kind of self-pride, meaning when I'm becoming kind of like really impressed with myself. And there's a difference in that between experiencing a deeper, genuine confidence that is coming from experiencing the goodness of one's nature, versus kind of egoic, kind of like spiritualized egoic pride that develops, where somehow now I've found myself to be superior to a person that is not experiencing such things. That's the primary distraction, but really any other distractions. And that's called the 3 supreme points of practice. Setting one's motivation to begin with, dedicating whatever merit or benefits one has accumulated during the practice at the end of it, and then in between doing one's best to focus and to do one's best to not grip too tightly or at all to the blissful, pleasurable experiences when they occur during the practice, and also to not push away too powerfully the uncomfortable experiences when they occur during the practice. Because if we're kind of like, oh, it's so blissful, oh, it's so wonderful during the practice, which happens, especially happens also a lot at the beginning, then if we were too attached to those experiences, which is partly the problem with psychedelics, by the way, is not that something's wrong with psychedelics necessarily, but it kind of conditions one's mind for experiences, certain types of experiences. So that would be something that one would have to work with when we're accustomed to utilizing that type of medicine in order to help us. So if I'm kind of attached to pleasurable experiences, even within the meditation experience, now I've created an environment or a condition that's going to be less sustainable for me over the long term. Whereas if I'm experiencing, let it fly away, let it pass. And whether that's an uncomfortable experience or a pleasurable experience, if I can also include that as part of my practice, meaning experiencing it without clinging, experiencing it without resisting. It takes time, it takes work. But those are the simple, what they call in the Tantric Buddhist Mahayana tradition, 3 supreme points of practice, which I think are very much useful and very practical and very simple in understanding. You set a motivation, makes sense. You end by dedicating whatever benefits. It's said more esoterically speaking that by dedicating the practice, which is, by the way, inherent already in the system of Kundalini Yoga, But if you know what you're doing, maybe it'll give it a little more juice. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. So it's said that by dedicating, you protect whatever merit they call. They're using typically the translation used in the Buddhist semantic. The merit, meaning the benefit, it's that which is going to, even at the time of our death, what do we have but other than the good energy that one has cultivated that will help carry one's energy forward. So by dedicating that merit, it protects it from potential future negative emotions, say destructive bursts of anger and things like that. So anyways, just a little bit of insights into kind of the mechanics of the subtle practices, meaning the mental and psychological dispositions and motivation, setting it, dedicating at the end, and in the middle, doing one's best not to cling to pleasant things, and doing one's best not to resist unpleasant things. And within that, the most important pleasant thing to not cling to is the puffiness of the spiritual ego, meaning a feeling of, or a sense of superiority above others. Okay, Satnam, let's come on. We'll skip cat-cow. Let's just come on to just sitting in easy pose. Let's start with spinal flexes. Hands around your ankles or shins. Chin is in, chest is lifted. Shar wore matching sweaters today. Go your own rhythm, your own pace. Close your eyes down. And what a boring thing to not be distracted, to just meditate on the breath and to the mantra. The breath, the inhalation is the sound of Sat. Exhalation, imagining the breath is chanting the sound of Nam. It's only boring to the ordinary mind, but to the inner being it's a blissful activity. To do nothing but to vibrate the Nam, vibrate the vibratory name of the divine. The most essential guru to the human experience is what Nanak called Pavan Guru. Pavan, the breath, and the wisdom and intelligence that comes to you via your breathing, the very breath, the very life-giving force. Turn that. And keep going. And just establishing your own meditative groove. Suspend the breath. Be still. Empty like. And exhale. And take the hands to the shoulders. Spinal twist.
Já aconteceu.
To the center, inhale deeply. Suspend the breath, lift through your root lock. Exhale. Hands to your knees. Inhale up, exhale, release. Squeeze up. Exhale, release. Beautiful. And open the legs, stretch the legs open wide. Inhale, center. Turn to the left, exhale, down. Inhale, back up to the center, turn the other side, and keep going.
Waheguru, 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 Waheguru. Waheguru, 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 Waheguru. Waheguru, 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 Waheguru. Waheguru, 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 Waheguru. Waheguru, 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 Waheguru. Waheguru, 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 Waheguru.
And inhale, center. Then hinge forward, exhale, down. Extend out through your sternum. Lift through your sternum. Tuck through the chin, breathe long, slow and deep. Flex the feet, relax the groin area. Gaze the third eye space. Long, deep breathing. And relax up, shake your legs out, come back easy pose. Gyan Mudra. Palms facing up. And the tongue will come out. And stretch the tongue out, chest is out, shoulders release. And the panting breath will be like a like that, keep going. Stimulating the pranic body, stimulating the immune system. Sat, na, sat, na, sat, na, sat, na, sat, na, sat. Imagine your breath is chanting the Hud mantra, like Hud, 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 Hud. Beautiful. Inhale. Under tongue, roof of the mouth. Press. Squeeze the spine. Squeeze the body deep. Exhale. Inhale. Root lock lift. Squeeze the spine deep. Under tongue, roof of the mouth. Exhale. Inhale. Squeeze deep, lift through the root lock. Under tongue, press the upper palate. Exhale. And now you'll take this Mercury Mudra. Thumb tips touch the pinky tips. The other three fingers are up. Jupiter, Saturn, and Sun, like antennas. And you hold it, the mudra, with both hands, palms facing each other. Heart lifted up, shoulders released down, fingers are firm. And then the same breath, eyes closed down, and and imagine the breath on the exhale is chanting Hud, 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 Hud. And keep going. Use your diaphragm with the breath. It unlocks the diaphragm, which helps take away the anger, the pent up subconscious anger habit. Use the breath, palms facing each other. Keep going. Hard work doing this. Try to keep going. Palms facing each other. Nothing easy about it. It's a pressure cooker. The Kriya to correct the 5 tattvas: earth, water, fire, air, ether. Stimulate your immune system. Sixty seconds. Seconds. 'Inhale deeply. Roll your tongue inward. Touch the tip of the tongue towards the back of the roof of the mouth. Lift up through the root lock. Hold the position and exhale. Deeply inhale. Under tongue. Touch the roof of the mouth. Roll the tongue inward. Lift through the root lock. And be like an antenna. Exhale. Inhale. Lift up through the root lock. Roll the tongue inward. Third eye gazing. Exhale. And relax. And take a couple of minutes on your back. And relax. Inhale deep. Exhale. Rotate the wrists. Rotate the ankles, rub the palms, rub the soles of the feet. Hug the knees to the chest. Rock and roll. And come up to easy pose. Bring the arms up to 60 degrees. Thumbs are out, fingers are in. Arms up to 60 degrees. Eyes closed down where the root of your nose meets the skull bone. Third eye. Inhale. Breath of fire.
Thoughts are with you. I had many chances, and all have been leading to. How can I know something else is mine when all of my thoughts are with you?
Inhale deep. Thumb tips come touching. Fingers open wide. Lift through the root lock. Release the shoulders. Fingers stretch wide. Touch the sky. Touch the ceiling. Under tongue, roof of the mouth. Stretch. Stretch. Inhale some more. Exhale. Meditate. And inhale deeply. Exhale and set yourself for a miracle mantra meditation. Have some water if you wish. Gyan Mudra. What is it that is endeavoring to come out through your life right now? What is that quality? Use the mantra, use the meditation, purify the elements.
Das Guru 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 Ai Guru Guru Ram 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 Das Guru 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 Vai 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 Guru Guru Ram Das Guru 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 way guru guru ram das 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 guru 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 ay guru guru ram das 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 Guru 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 Vai 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 Guru Guru Ram Das Guru
Satnam. Satnam. Satnam, Satnam. Okay, well, what time is it? It's 11:34. So I got a little bit, like 15 minutes or so. I'm gonna come over and hang out on the Zoom, LFA Zoom room. So if you're not already on there and you want to come hang, come join us. And lots of love to everybody. Do you know what day we're on, Charlotte? Yeah, somewhere between the middle and the end. All right, see you over at Zoom in just a minute.